Thanks for being with us here on Court TV Live this Monday morning. I'm Julie Grant. We are in Florida. We're watching the penalty phase of a death penalty case for defendant Shelby Nealy. This was a massacre that this guy did, a massacre. Murdered his wife, Jamie Ivancic, and her parents, Richard and Laura Ivancic, and her brother, James Ivancic, and he killed the 3 family dogs as well. So this guy pleaded to his crimes. So now we advance to the penalty phase. The question is, what will the jury recommend? It's a recommendation. Okay, recommendation. All they need is 8 jurors of the 12 to recommend the death penalty. Or it could be life in prison without parole. Let's go back in. We've got a detective on the stand. He's talking about that horrific crime scene. Here we go.
There was a gallon container of roofing, like basically like a roof sealant with the top off of it just randomly laying on there. The walls had paint and eggs all over them. On the dresser, as soon as you went to the right of which Nicholas's body is on the ground, the dresser would be, if you're looking in the room to his right, on top of the dresser there was, I believe, 3 different incense holders and incense that was in various stages of burning. There was blade products scattered throughout the room.
Okay, moving on to the master bedroom. Same chaotic state?
Yes.
And in terms of the bodies, was there anything in particular that you noted that was significant to your investigation?
Paint all over the victim's head. This would have been Richard. As soon as you open the door, his head was right there by the door, partially covered in area rug, and then he had another, like a smaller rug, laying on his left side. He had paint poured all over his head and upper torso, and there was a large pooling of paint, like just on the top side of his head, which would have been about here.
Okay. And moving into the master bathroom, again, same chaotic state?
Yes, I would say the bathroom was probably the worst out of the...
Okay, and in terms of Laura's body, also paint?
Correct.
Red towel on top of her, and just same, like a carpet or something that she was rolled in partially?
Correct.
Okay. Now, we talked some, when you initially enter, do you know for sure the identity of all 3 of the deceased people?
No, we do not.
And was that going to take some time to determine with the response from the medical examiner and things of that nature?
Yes, sir.
Now, we talked about a forensic response, and we've heard from a number of the forensic team over the course of this hearing. But does that take time to do? Does it take time for you to get back the results from the forensic team?
Yes, sir.
Do they find all the things all at once?
No, they do not.
Now, in particular, were you made aware or noticed that there was a Home Depot receipt on the island in the kitchen?
I was.
And did that become, earlier on, did that become a focal point to try and gather information from?
Yes, it did.
And we've watched the surveillance video that was recovered based on that Home Depot receipt. Have you had an opportunity to review that and at some point in the past?
I have.
And did you take note of the items that were being purchased?
I did.
And were those items that you saw in places in the residence?
They were.
And in particular, did you note that at the Home Depot there was drop cloths being purchased?
Yes, there were.
And I'm displaying State's Exhibit 56. And did you see those same drop cloths, the same packaging of the drop cloths anywhere in the residence?
Yes, I did.
And where would you describe that as being?
The living room.
And was one of those packages empty?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to pause the detective's testimony right here and talk a little bit about this case, the evidence, what the jury may do with Shelby Nealy. So he pleaded to the killings, but the question is, what kind of punishment does he deserve? The state of Florida still going for the death penalty for him. Just because he decides to plead doesn't mean that they may decide to take it off the table. And that could be what we see later today with Stephen Stearns. We don't know that the state of Florida has made any agreement with him. Here, they didn't make an agreement with Shelby Nealy. He pleaded, and he's throwing himself at the mercy of the court. Let's bring in death penalty certified lawyer Tommy Pope. He's in civil practice now. He's also a state lawmaker as well in South Carolina. Tommy, I'm seeing a lot of people talking today, of course, about this case, our courties who are watching it, and the Stephen Stearns plea that's set to happen later. And in this one, I think it's a good example for what could happen later today, that the state of Florida may still move on forward against a defendant, even if they accept responsibility. Tell me, for Shelby Nealy, how much mitigation weight do you think it's going to carry for him with this jury that he did accept responsibility for his crimes and did admit to his crimes?
I think it's a strategy component by the defense, but I don't think in this case, going back to your question, how much weight, I don't think it's going to carry the day. I think the nature of the crime is too heinous, the killing of more than one. Each state has different aggravating circumstances, which are circumstances the state must prove to allow you to proceed with the death penalty or for the jury to make that consideration. And I just think that, you got multiple killings, you got the efforts to cover it up. The difference in the penalty phase versus the guilt phase is other evidence that can come in penalty wouldn't have come in guilt. So once he's established guilt, now they'll be able to talk about he killed his wife too, which may not have come in the guilt phase initially in this. And, the long period of time, I think there's way too much, if you were to show remorse, call 911 and do it then. But I don't think it'll carry weight with the jury, and I think we're going to see a death penalty in this case.
Tommy Pope, always great insight from you. Thank you so much for weighing in on that. We'll hit a break. When we come back, we'll go back into the courtroom and hear more in Florida.
Two parents face a jury
over the attempted murder of their own daughter.
Court TV takes you inside the trial that's torn a family apart.
The attempted honor killing trial. Live coverage today, only on Court TV. This week.
Previewing this week's sentencing in the Idaho student murders case. Plus, we're getting you ready for the day's testimony in the attempted honor killing trial.
Opening statements with Julie Grant. Mornings at 8, 7 Central on Court TV.
We are so glad you're with us on this Monday morning. I'm Julie Grant, and this is Court TV Live. We're in Florida. We're watching the penalty phase for defendant Shelby Nealy. So this guy pleaded guilty to committing a massacre, killed his in-laws, killed his wife, killed her brother, and killed the family's 3 dogs. Let's go back into the courtroom together now. We've got a detective on the witness stand talking about the crime scene.
Also, in the Home Depot video, did you see a rope being purchased?
Yes, sir.
And I'm showing Stage Exhibit 51. Did you see a rope consistent with the rope being purchased at Home Depot on December 18th anywhere in the residence?
I did. The rope was, the room I described as empty with the tarp. There was a rope that started about the tarp area, and then it kind of wound itself out into the common living room.
And the individual who purchased those things at Home Depot in the video, did you recognize or come to recognize that individual?
I did.
And who was that?
Shelby Nealy.
Okay. Turning our attention a little bit to the outside of the residence when you were there. Were there any vehicles present?
There was a blue minivan that was underneath the carport next to the sand pile.
Okay, and over the course of your investigation, did you come to understand that Nick utilized that vehicle?
Correct. We were given information by the family members that it was Richard's vehicle, but that Nick was the one that utilized it and drove it on a regular basis.
Okay. Were there any other vehicles you associated with the residence that you expected to be there that were not?
Yes. Laura's 2013 Kia SUV was not present.
Okay. Did that also quickly become a focal point of your investigation?
Yes, sir.
Now, as the investigation progressed and you got more information from family members and other sources, did the names Shelby Nealy and Jamie Ivancic come up?
It did.
Were those people that you quickly wanted to locate to speak with.
Absolutely.
And jumping ahead a little bit, eventually was a Hyundai vehicle registered to Jamie Ivancic found at the clubhouse not that far from the offense location.
It was.
So with the missing 2013 Kia vehicle, did you begin to pursue where that vehicle might be?
We did.
And did you also start to pursue where the defendant, Shelby Nealy, would be?
Yes, we did.
And based on information that you put out, did other law enforcement officers end up locating that vehicle, the Kia, and Shelby Nealy?
They did. The vehicle and Mr. Shelby Nealy were located at 1573 Newman Avenue in Lakewood, Ohio.
And were they located on January 3rd, later in the day?
Yes.
Evening. Once you learned that they were located, did you travel to Ohio with Detective Scarpati?
We did.
Now, I want to jump ahead a little bit. Did you spend a few days in Ohio?
Yes.
And doing different things involved in the investigation?
Yes, interviewing, search warrant on the Kia vehicle, and then I interviewed 4 or 5 people, I believe, on the 5th.
Okay. And but I'll jump over to that soon. But in terms of the 2013 Kia vehicle that was located at Newman Avenue, did you end up working with Ohio authorities in order to obtain a search warrant to search that 2013 Kia vehicle?
Yes, we did.
And were you present and assisting when that Kia vehicle was searched?
I was.
Okay. And I'd like to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibits 239, 247. If you could look at these and tell me if you recognize them.
Yes, sir.
Judge, at this time, the state would like to move State's Exhibits 239 through 247 into evidence.
Any objection? They're admitted.
I'd like to go over some of these photographs with you.